if we summarize our previous lecture, then we have discussed some basic guidelines as per gearbox layout, like for any gear cluster, two side-by-side gears should have difference in their number of feet greater than or equals to 4 to avoid interference whenever we slide gear cluster, right? This is the one. Second is spacing between two uh, two fixed gears should be greater than the width of gears given in gear cluster, right? So these are some guidelines which we discussed, and we have also seen that due to uh, the gear ratio, whenever we solve number of feet which we are getting, they are in fraction. So whenever we round off number of feet, then we get some variation in the actual speed available from gearbox. But some limiting condition is given that percentage change in speed should not be uh, should not be above some set limit, right? So these are some guidelines which we discussed in previous session. Now today we will take one simple problem and then we'll try to determine number of feet on different gears. And as already module is known that we need to set what should be the module, then you can easily find out the feet circle diameter of different gears, right? So with that basic, now we are starting with simple problem. So now I am giving you problem statement. Suppose it is already given which structure equation you need to use. Suppose the structure equation is 2, 1, 2, 2. This structure equation is to use. Now looking to this structure equation, we can clearly see is 4, right? So this many speeds are available. So it's a very simple problem as well. But to understand or to introduce design of gearbox, we are starting with this simple problem. Then we are designing gearbox for 4 different speeds, right? Now minimum RPM is given as 400 and minimum, and progression ratio is given as 1.4, right? So this many details are given. Now the condition is whenever we go for ray diagram, we need to design this for less shaft diameter criteria. Right? If nothing is given, then you need to mention assumption based on which assumption you are drawing ray diagram for minimum shaft diameter or for minimum radial dimension. Because again, it's ultimately a selection of designer, but here it is clearly mentioned. This criteria is generally used less shaft diameter criteria, right? So this criteria is given. Now our next step is to write all the RPMs available from gearbox, right? So suppose N1 is 400, then what will be the N2? N2 is N1 times 5, then 400 into 1.4. The next RPM is 560. Similarly, N3, then that is N2 into 5. So 560 into 1.4, it's a 784. N4, this is the maximum possible speed from gearbox. So N4 is again N3 into 5. So 784 into 1.4. So that we get 1097.6 RPM. Right? Now these are the theoretical values. Later we'll see, we'll get variation in the RPM. So actual RPM would be somehow different than this, right? So these are the required RPM from gearbox. Now after this, our next step is to draw structure diagram, because structure equation is already known. So let us draw structure diagram. For this given structure equation. So suppose shaft 1, shaft 2 and shaft 3, because this gearbox is in two stage, right? So we consider three shafts: input shaft, intermediate shaft and output shaft. Now number of horizontal lines for structure diagram, number of horizontal lines are equals to number of speeds. So line 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? I call N1, 2, 3, 4. Let me pick midpoint. So this is the midpoint of shaft 1. Let me call shaft 1, 2, 3. Now, two speeds, one characteristic number, then two lines, N2 and 3, right? Stage 2, two lines, characteristic number is 2. Then from this, one line is here, second line is here. Similarly now, from this, one line is here, the second line is on N, right? Now, for qualification of the structure diagram, we need to check what is the oral transmission ratio. So if you see, in stage 1, oral transmission ratio is 5:1. In stage 2, oral transmission ratio is 5:2. So this transmission ratio is 5:2. Just check what you are getting, 1.4:2. That is definitely less than 8. So that's why this structure diagram given is proper as per the requirement. If it is not, then I need to propose change in the structure equation. And anyhow, we need to fulfill this condition. Okay. So now, this is structure diagram. Now, after drawing structure diagram, next we go for ray diagram. So now we are drawing ray diagram. Now, let me mention one another condition. One another condition is speed of motor is not equals to N4. This is condition, right? My assumption. So with this assumption, we are now starting ray diagram. So for ray diagram, one more vertical line to indicate motor shaft. So shaft 1, 2, 3, and I consider one additional vertical line, right? Now, how many horizontal lines? As per the condition, speed of motor not equals to N4. So I need to draw one more additional line in ray diagram. This is also called as a speed chart, right? Speed chart. Because this is actually giving us information related to speed of gears. Okay. So now, line 1, we need to go for 5 lines. 2, 3, 4 5. Now, let me mention speed. So here, this N1 is equals to 400, which is given. N2 is 560. N3 784. N5 109714, and NM, which is not mentioned but generally standard motor RPM 1440. That is suppose I am mentioning. Okay, now let us start ray diagram. So our requirement is to go for minimum shaft diameter, right? Not minimum radial dimension. So with this, first we pick last ray of structure diagram. So as per structure diagram, we are starting from N1. Now I can go from N1 to N3, not N1 to N4. N4, right? So I cannot directly go for N1 to N4. That is acceptable as per condition because overall reduction is 5:3. Later we'll check overall reduction is 5:3. But if you see on shaft, let me write again here shaft name. This is motor shaft. It's a N, 1, 2, and 3. So if you see in structure diagram for shaft 2, characteristic number is 1. So if I directly get N1 from N4, then where to place this top node? Right? So due to that reason, we need to restrict up to N3. Suppose here. So N1 to N3. Right? And I represent this second away because characteristic number is 5:2. So same characteristic number will be maintained, right? Now let's move further. Let's draw this brown line, brown ray. Then from this, only available is N4, so N4 to N3, right? And then finally N4 to NN using build and pull, right? Now let us complete this ray diagram. Then from here, this line is here. So again we maintain here 5:1. Now from this node to N2 and from same node N4. So this is complete ray diagram for given data, right? Okay. Now based on this, let us draw gearbox layout. So now I am drawing gearbox layout based on speed chart or ray diagram. So this is our ray diagram, right? So we are keeping this as a reference, okay? And now I am drawing gearbox layout. So first of all, I need to indicate input shaft. So this is suppose input shaft. On this input shaft, let me indicate two gears on one gear cluster. And this brown ray is giving us reduction. So let me consider one small gear. And large gear. Okay, I call this is gear A and this is gear B. I have indicated gear cluster on input shaft. Please remember. Now, this B line is giving us same speed on input shaft as well as on output shaft. So let us consider same diameter. So both the gears. Now let me indicate shaft 2. So this is shaft 1 and this is shaft 2, right? And this gear is fixed. Now this A is giving me reduction. So consider large diameter of this gear A, and this is also. So now I call this as A dash and this as B dash, right? And if you remember our condition, then this L, this is called as L, which is between two successive fixed gears, then this L should be more than thickness of or the width of this gear cluster, right? So that we need to remember. But how you will get this thickness? Based on uh, this thickness you get by Levi's function equation, right? You know, you learn this design of square gear in your regular course, machine design 2, right? So from sorry, machine design 2, yeah. So from there you can find out this width you get from there. Now, next about this second stage. So first stage is over. Now second stage again two splits. So we need to go for again two pairs. Now, if you see here, then this is giving reduction and this line is giving us sync speed, right? So suppose I consider another gear. I call this fifth gear as C, right? And then we have one another line for reduction in speed. So let me indicate that here we are getting reduction. So here we need to assume small dimension of gear. I call this as gear B, right? And now let us assume one gear cluster on this. Right? So this is gear cluster, and now I consider one shaft 3, right? And let me call this gear as C dash and this gear as B dash, right? And now let us go to this entire gearbox arrangement. Fine. And if we indicate suppose motor, then this is our input shaft, and let us consider one raised guide. This pulley. Similarly, I consider one pulley here, and on this side we have motor. So this motor shaft is indicated here by vertical line. This is shaft 1, this is shaft 2, and this is shaft 3. So this we can say it's a gearbox arrangement. Now task of ray diagram is over. So let me hide this. Now let's start stage by stage design. So stage 1. Stage 1, if you look in stage 1, this is our ray diagram. In stage 1, this is our stage 1. What is input speed? It's N4. Up, after stage 1, on shaft 2, we are getting two different arguments, N4 and N3, right? So N4 we are getting with this A dash pair, and sorry, N4 to N4, same speed we are getting with B dash pair, and N4 to N3 reduction in stage 1, we are getting with A dash pair, right? So input speed for stage 1 is N4, which is as per ray diagram, it is 1097.6, right? And as an output, we are getting two different speeds. As output, in stage 1, we are getting first of all same speed N4 by which gear? By gear DB dash pair, right? So we are getting a DB dash pair which is equal to N4 only, and this is same as 1097.6. And if we consider A dash, then output speed we get by combination A dash, which is N3. You see this ray diagram, it is 784, right? So these are the two speeds. So this N, if you look, it represents NB dash, because B dash is the here, and this represents, this 784 represents speed of A dash. So N A dash is N378, right? So this is what we got. Now, what is the gear ratio? Let us write that. Now, gear ratio then for N, we are getting here reduction. So speed NA, speed of A gear means input gear, divided by speed of output gear means A dash. So NA dash is equals to 1.4, right? Because this is represented by phi, 1 times phi. If you take ratio of NA by NA dash, means NA, this is nothing but representing NA input speed. So this divided by this 784, we get 1.4, right? Let us write this gear ratio in terms of number of teeth on A and A dash gear. Then it's the inverse. Speed ratio is inversely proportional to number of teeth ratio. Here we get ZA dash and ZA, right? So this is what we got 1. Similarly now, if we talk about NB, the ratio of gear B speed to gear B dash speed is equal to, look here, it's equal directly. We are not getting any change in speed. So this is equal to 1 actually, right? And let us again write this in terms of number of teeth. Then ZB dash divided by ZB. I hope this is clear. We got this ratio, right? So from this we can form two equations which will help us further. We get here two equations. One is ZB dash one equation is zb dash is equals to zb, right? And second equation is za dash is equals to 1.4 times ze, right? So we got the equation. This is what given here. From this speed ratio, right? We got this second equation. Okay, fine. Now, next, if you recall our condition, then sum of two geared pairs is remains same. As for the gearbox layer, you remember that condition. Then now let us apply that condition. Then za plus za dash is equals to zb plus zb dash, right? The condition we have seen in last lecture, where we have considered same module for all four gears, right? So let us put za in terms of za dash in terms of za from this equation. So we get here overall 2.4 zb, right? And is equals to zb and zb dash both are same, so I can say here 2 times zb. Fine. So now we can say equation of zb is equals to 2.4 divided by 2 times za. Then finally we get zb is equals to 1.2 za, right? So what ultimately we did here, if you look, all this in both the pairs, all this number of feet, suppose zb is also written in za term, zb dash is written in zb term. So now again you can write this zb as 1.2 times za as per this equation. So again this is written in terms of za, and za dash is also written in terms of za. Why we are doing this? Because if you see in this stage 1, gear A is having least diameter. So this is pinion, right? This is pinion. So if you recall our last lecture, then pinion should have minimum 18 number of feet to avoid interference. This was our first condition, right? So that's why we are starting with trial and error, where first we will assume za is equals to 18, and then we will check what we are getting as zb dash, za dash, and zb, right? So due to that, we have written all this equation in terms of za. So let us now prepare one table using this equation. I am just making summary of it. za dash is equals to 1.4 za, zb is equals to 1.2 times za, and zb dash is again equals to zb. So this is what we call till now. Fine. Now I am just preparing one table, and we'll use this equation, this list of equations for preparation of the table. So first column is of za, second column is of za dash, which is nothing but equals to, as per equation, 1.4 times za, right? Then next we write center distance. Center distance means ZA plus ZA dash. Let's put this condition, right? Let's put this condition. Okay. So ZA plus ZA dash. Then ZB is equals to 1.2 times ZA. That is what we got here. ZB dash is equals to ZB. This is given here. And finally, we need to also check ZB plus ZB dash. Right? We need to also check ZB plus ZB dash. Fine. So these two columns should have same value as per this condition. As per this condition, these two columns should have same value, right? So that is the terminating condition for our trial and error. So let us start now. So first is we need to assume 18 number of feet on ZA. So let us assume 18. Put 18 here, then how much you are getting as ZA dash? So 18 into 1.4, then ZA dash we get 25.2. So if we round off, I was talking about this round off, right? So if you do round off, we are getting here 25. This is 25, then just take a sum of these two for next column. So 18 plus 25, then we get here 43, right? Then next is ZB. So ZB is 1.2 times ZB. So 18 into 1.2. Then ZB again we get some fractional value 21.6. If we do round off, then this becomes 22, right? If this is 22, the next column is ZB dash is also 22. If these two are 22, then if we make sum of that as the last column, then 22 plus 22 is 44. But we are not able to match these two columns. Here it's 43 and here it's 44. So we cannot go for 18. So let us move further. So our next value will be, we cannot go below 18. So next is 19. If I put 19, then let's again calculate ZA dash, we get 26.6. So again if you round off it, then we get 27. 27 plus 19, then we get 46. Now ZB, so 22.8 we will get, then it's 23. If this 23, then this is also 23. 23 plus 23, we get 46. Right? Now, so here these two are matched. But still we are getting some round off value. So let us take one more trial. Because as and when we do round off, we are actually changing gear ratio. That we will see. So I am going for the 20. If we go to 20, then again calculate ZA dash, we get 28 exactly. 28 plus 20, 48. Now, again, ZB is 1.2 times 20, and again we get exact value 24, so there is no round off. So 24, this becomes also 24. 24 plus 24, then we get 48. So here also we are getting matched. Then which is to be taken, either this or this. Then if you remember, there was one condition that in case of gear cluster, because if you look here, we are using this as a gear cluster. So for gear cluster, difference between gears like ZB minus ZA should be greater than 4, right? So let us check, are we getting that or not? So ZB, how much ZB? It's a 20, it's a, here if we see, it's a 24. So ZB is 24. minus ZA is 20. So yes, we are able to maintain 4 exactly. That's why this is acceptable. But are we getting here same? No, because if you check here, then 23 minus 19. So 23 minus 19, again we are getting 4. So in this way both are acceptable. But why we are selecting 20? Because here there is no round off. Here we are getting a fractionless value. So this will help us to achieve our theoretical speed in actual way. In actual situation, we will get theoretical speeds. So that's why we are selecting 20. So if we select 20, then these are the number of speed on gears, right? So if we summarize, then ZA is 20, ZA dash is 28, ZB is equal to 24, and ZB dash is equal to 24. So this is what the result of stage 1. Now if you have any doubt, then you can ask.